Hey y'all, and welcome to Trials to Triumphs. I'm Ashley Blaine Featherson-Jenkins, but you can call me ABFJ. This week, singer Estelle talks to me about strength and the courage to lay it all down. Laying it all down ain't easy, especially for someone like me who considers herself both a fixer and a planner. I'm doing the most, I know. Last year started off quite exhilarating. Many great opportunities came my way, and it was a season where I got so close to 4 projects that I really, really wanted, but they didn't work out. I can't lie, I spiraled a tad. But thank God for my husband, Daryl. He really kept me sane by reminding me that repeated disappointment doesn't mean I should mark it as failure. I really needed that, but what I needed most was to simply lay it all down. Conjure up as much strength as I could to simply try again. The line between when to lay it down and when to pick it up is thin. But if you dig deep, ask yourself the right questions, and listen to your gut, your intuition, you'll know exactly what to do and when. I sure do, and so does Estelle. Estelle is an absolute diamond in the music industry. And just like a precious stone, moments of intense pressure showed her who she was and exactly what she was made of.
You know, like when a rocket ship takes off or it's in the air, midair, and the bits are coming off of it? It's like the bits were coming off midair and I wasn't prepared for the bits to come off midair. Like, it's going to space, but it's also like, they didn't tell me that the outside has to come off of you, right? And so I was like, I'm going to pull that down and let's learn a new thing. You know, let's try something else. You know, it was some intense growth.
Her life is truly marked by resilience, and her career is proof that making it through seasons of loss will eventually lead you to exactly where you need to be. And in our Sankofa moment, Estelle tells us about the musical icon she would have loved to collaborate with in her prime.
I just want to ask her things. I just want to be like, I know this was a long time ago. Sis, tell me about the makeup and the hair and the clothes. Just tell me.
Yes.
I want to know.
Yes.
I say icon, legend, auntie, big sister almighty. I don't know. Like, how do I do this? Tell me what I'm doing wrong with my makeup. Because you set the pace for us. I just think she's it.
Hello, my sister, Estelle. How are you?
I'm amazing. How are you feeling?
I'm good.
Good.
It's so good to see you.
Mm-hmm. You too. Congratulations. This is a good vibe.
Yeah, good vibes. Thank you. You're good vibes, which is why I was so excited to have you. Okay, so I'm going to kick us off with a bit of an icebreaker question, okay? All right, so what's your favorite West Indian and West African dish?
Oh, that's hard. Like, okay, so of course I'm from both places. So my mom's about to look at me crazy. All right. West Indian. All right. It's hard. Oh, that's hard. Oh, curry goat. Curry goat, rice and peas. Traditional. I'm good. People often do like the curry chicken or the curry, beef or curry lamb or something. And I'm like, no, it's curry goat.
It's the goat.
It's the goat.
It's the goat.
It's definitely the goat. You know, that's my favorite. I'm good with that anywhere I am in the world if it's done right. And I cook
if it's done
right, okay? It's not a game. Don't put these things in here. Don't mess around with this. And then on the African side, that's equally as difficult because again, so I'm raised. There's a lot of women in our family, and I'm raised by the women. We, African tradition. We cook down. It is what it is. This is something we do. It's not a game.
Mm-hmm.
I would say okra stew, which is okra and palm oil, essentially the main 2 ingredients, with fish or whatever else you want to put in it, and oxtails, beef, whatever, and no chicken, no poultry. Okra chopped up, sliced thinly, and palm oil. Put smoked fish in it. You get fancy. Put some Scotch bonnet peppers, habaneros, they call them here.
Yes,
and it's a good time. Yeah.
So when I come visit you, are these dishes that will be available? Because these are right up my alley.
I can get it going.
Okay.
I can get it going.
All right. We can. Okay. I just got to make sure because That's going to be the first thing I say is,
She said,
Estelle, where is the food at?
No, for sure.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a real thing.
Okay, now I'm hungry. Now I'm going to be on Postmates trying to figure out who I'm going to order from. Okay, so sis, you talked about, I just heard you say that you were, raised by women.
Yeah.
So who raised you? And what was your upbringing like? Talk to me about your creators.
Well, my mom and my dad, I did this with Lovers Rock, with the album Lovers Rock, the very last set of records I put out, which was a reggae album, which is kind of a tribute to them, but also like a rebirth for me, right? They met because my auntie and my auntie and my uncle were on a date, and my uncle brought his brother along, and my mum and him locked eyes, and it was a wrap.
Wow.
She was definitely trying to leave the country after having my older brother, and she didn't. 9 months later, quite literally, here I am. My dad was in an entanglement, and so that was a whole thing. It was a wild time. I told the story. I have sisters and brothers, sisters my age. I have a sister my age. So it was a wild moment. They went on to have 2 more kids. They continued,
Wow.
because they were what we call now twin flames, soulmates, all of that. That basically they were. So 3 years into it, my grandma, they end up splitting them up. Literally splitting them up. He'd
Like
come
the
around one
family
day.
split them up.
Yeah.
The family kind of. Wow.
His family and our family split them up. Like, yo, you go over there. He was taking care of the kids, but not in the way that my grandma wanted it to. His family didn't like it because she was African, and Africans and West Indians at that point in time had a slight prejudice against each other. Colonization will do that to you.
Yes.
So they split up, and they didn't see each other for like another 20 years. I grew up with a stepdad who I didn't like very much because I just knew he wasn't my dad. But no one would talk about it, right? No one would say anything about it. I turned 19 and we were all getting ready to leave the house. And I'm starting my music career at this point. And I'm like, look, Ma, I'm going where everyone's growing up and it's going to be you and him. Is that what you want? Because we don't like him. You don't love him. You haven't loved him in years. We know that. I was that kid. I had the big mouth. I've always had the mouth. I've always been the kid that's like,
that's me. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cute. I don't know about that. Like that's trash.
Yeah.
I don't care what none of you say. That's whack.
Yeah.
I've been that kid my whole life. So I said that to her. The way she tells it, she was like, I might need a divorce. And so they got divorced like a couple years later. One of my sisters ends up randomly working with my dad, and they ended up connecting them. My mum had thought he was married to somebody else. He said he'd never gotten married to anybody. They ended up getting back together when I was 23.
Wow.
And then they get married when I was 33. And so it's been a journey for them. And so these are the people who raised me. I was raised African, but my mom always made sure to teach us our Grenadian side. My dad's from Grenada, partly because she was like, I don't want you to not have your culture. So she taught us the food. She taught us our culture via the food and via just being around West Indian people and, and all of that. And so when I grow up and I'm in school and whatnot, like I'm born into Lovers Rock, the musical era.
Wow.
And I find out that my dad was one of the producers for like one of the Lovers Rock queens, Louisa Marr. It's very like, couldn't make this up kind of story. Like it's a wild story. Yeah.
Wow. My mouth is literally agape. That is
nuts.
One of the most beautiful stories I've ever heard. And so your parents are together right now. Like they're together.
Yeah.
Okay. So
back together, I should say.
What has been the greatest lesson for you witnessing your parents' relationship?
Growth is amazing. Time is amazing. Live your life and work on yourself. Don't get stagnant. That's the thing I've learned. Because they still went ahead and had kids and just let it rock. And then my mom come back around and he was like, yeah, I'm never leaving. And so I was like, whoa,
wow.
Something.
So would you describe yourself as someone who has always been incredibly open to God and the universe and the plans for your life? Or have you struggled with that?
No, I pray for everything, even in the struggle. Like I pray on everything. Like it's not a game.
Mm,
I learned early on that this isn't my game. I have will, but I also flow in His divine order. So in God's divine order. So I don't. Even in the times when it was difficult, when I was like, I don't like my stepdad. Why does this man do this to us? I don't like, why am I
mm,
so broken? I'm at the height of this part of my career. And, all of the different trials, like I stay
mm.
praying because I'm like, you brought me here. You want to tell me how this goes? Like, you want to show
So,
me?
yeah, so that's exactly what I want to know, Estelle,
Mm,
is you are someone who I think is widely seen as someone who has always been very accepted and loved and
thank you.
revered and
Thank you.
appreciated and
I'm
celebrated,
like,
right? But
wow.
exactly, you're over here laughing like I haven't always felt like that.
I
So I
appreciate
want
it.
to,
Thank you.
I yeah, but so what I want to know is I want to know about a time or
Mm,
times in your life and or career
yeah.
when the trial that you were going through
Yeah.
was overwhelming, when you didn't know how you were going to get out and,
Yeah.
and how you did, how you got on the other side.
Oh God. So, and this is wild. I'm gonna try not to cry through this.
Okay.
Because my friend who was connected to it all just passed away, right? So
AJ, yes.
yeah,
Listen, AJ Crimson Love. Yes.
we love you.
Wonderful,
Uh,
wonderful man.
man.
Yeah.
So when I moved here, I moved with the whole I'm gonna have to start again, huh? Cool. All right, God.
Hmm.
But I have experience, so I'm not starting from scratch. I'm starting from experience, right? Cool, cool. Well, we get halfway through, the record is moving, it's doing its thing. American Boy is blowing, and I'm happy, and it's great. Halfway through, I'm on the way back from Europe one time. Like we doing the last round of like big TV sets, right? All the different TV shows all over the world. And my manager calls while I'm on the way back from
Hmm.
Paris and says she quits right now. Nothing to do with me, just she was going through some, and she quit. And I'm on a flight back from Paris,
Hmm.
like, well, when I get back, can we do a changeover exchange? She said, no, I have to leave today. So I'm like sitting on a
Hmm.
7-hour flight on the way back, like mouth open, not sure what's going on. And it's like from that point onwards, everything starts falling apart, right? It's going up, but it's like, like when a rocket ship takes off
Hmm.
or it's in the air, midair, and the bits are coming off of it. It's like the bits were coming off midair, and I wasn't prepared for the
Yes.
bits to come off midair. Like it's going to space, but it's
Ooh.
also like they didn't tell me that the outside has to come off of you, right? And it's exactly what it felt like.
Oh,
I was like,
Estelle. Oh, I get that
I was
completely.
like, holy
Wow.
crap. So she quits on me. I
Mm.
have to find new management. People try to use it as a moment to be slick and do other little moments. It just started to, I had to be super eyes wide open, right? And I wasn't prepared for that emotionally, mentally, nothing. I was just being used to being covered and being an artist. So ended up messing up a lot of things. I'm on the road and I'm touring, and I couldn't see the wood for the trees with the band and the team that was around me. I had to end up firing everybody off of that tour. I get off the tour, and the tour is in the red. And so I have to still figure out how to pay for this tour that was the most miserable time of my life. And so I
Mm.
say AJ was a part of holding me up through that.
Oof.
So,
Yeah.
like we had a bond, not just off of the trauma of that, but off of the dream of us, regardless, still going ahead. And
Yes.
so that whole period was like, I want to say it was 2010 to 12 was just
Hmm.
a mess for me. And in the middle of it, I still felt like I was being carried and floating through to a degree. But it's like it was like this. It was like the choppy air. Like everything was like, you're gonna be okay.
Yes.
But this bit of turbulence right here, this bit of turbulence might kill you, honey. Like it might be a
Mm.
wrap in a second. Strapping your seatbelt. There ain't no seatbelts. All right, hold on to something.
Mm.
It was a lot. People that I trusted, people that I thought had my back from home, people that I thought had my back here, and it just reminded me, like, God. I feel like God was just reminding me, I brought you here. Call me.
Oof.
I brought you here. What are you doing? That's why I say I pray every moment. I'm like, well, you brought me here, so it took me a while to get out of my own way and get back to calling on God. So that's literally it. That you asked how I got out of it was calling on God. It was like getting quiet. Like, don't go to all the parties. After going to all the parties and being with people and being in the mix, because I felt like, well, I don't want to sit in the house and these are the years to do it. And none of that helping. None of that helping. Like, just not caring for myself. Every turn I took was to try and just ignore the fact that I was deeply sad. I miss my family. I miss my mom. I miss everybody in my bloodline. And they weren't physically there. But then I have to handle this big career, and I have to handle these big expectations. And I think at one point I just put it all down. I tried to like strengthen my way out of this. Like, no, I'm good. I'm good. And then I wasn't good, repeatedly for months in a row, but I was outside pretending like I'm good. And it just got wild. And I just put it all down one day. I said, I'm done. I just want to be a good human, like for myself and for my future daughter, like for the husband I'm going to marry, for myself, for my people, for the people that be around me. So I just put it all down. I just got sick of it all and put it all down.
Putting it all down. Let me ask you, did putting it all down, not necessarily in that moment, but at times has putting it all down felt like you were giving up?
Not giving up.
Okay, good. Because I think sometimes people can have that perspective.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's giving up. I think some cycles are ended, and we gotta be okay with that. Some cycles do end. And this is I'm forever doing music, so it's not that. But cycles of me needing to be a specific person, cycles of me needing to feel a specific way, cycles of me doing the same and asking for it to be different, but it's doing the same. Praying, God, please make it different this time with this guy, but you go do the same. God, please make it different this time with this label deal, and I go in there as the same person. And God, please make it different this time, and I go do the same thing. I got sick of that cycle of me. And so I was like, yeah, I'm going to pull that down and let's learn a new thing. Let's try something else. It was some intense growth. And growth never stops. I also believe in shooting in the gym. I also believe in actually living, and testing what you've learned. So I don't think the cycles feel like you failed. I feel like, because it's not failure, it brought you here. Here is good. Knowing, they say, knowing is half the battle? Here is knowing, and that's half the battle. That's good. If you're just here and you don't know, and you're just moving in a circle, that's a problem. That's a fail to me. That's like, bruh, I'm trying to show you where you, that's spirit trying to show you where you're messing up.
Yeah. And it's so cool because I love that you're saying, like, what you're talking about here is good, but also here is now. It's now. It's a reminder of the present. It's a reminder of the blessings that you do have that you didn't have the day before, no matter how small or how big. It's still now. And before now, there was then. You know what I mean? So there's something so beautiful about that. I want to talk to you about how do you choose projects now at this point in your life, at this point in your career?
When it comes to doing other things, I ask all the information and I'm yes or no. To me, it's just all very, do I like this? Can I do this? Will this stretch me? Will this make me happy? Will I be bored going to do this every single week? It comes from that. And then common sense, but my common sense is rooted in, will I love this? Will this be something that my nephews and nieces and my kids and, my husband can say, yes, that's my wife. That's my mom. I'm going to do this to excellence. And that's all I care about. So I don't put records out every 10 minutes. That's partly why I be around, but like, I'll be back with that album when I have it. Let me live a little bit. Let me find some things. Let me just live. Let me figure out what I'm doing.
Estelle, I just let out a big exhale because I cannot tell you how much I needed to hear that. I know now that you and I are both about legacy building.
Yeah.
And when you're building a legacy, intentionality and excellence are everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so I love that you do not operate from a place of lack.
Nope.
You operate from a place of abundance.
And it wasn't always like that. It wasn't always like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the part. But I learned, but you know what I learned? Because the real life is we have bills, we have things, we need money, right?
Yes.
But I made more money when I was intentional about my choices. When I said, all right, nah, that's not for me. I know I need the money right now, but that's not for me. That's gonna pay like a quarter of this light bill. For example, that's gonna pay a quarter of this light bill. It could help, but this ain't gonna do it. I got 2 more weeks on having to pay the light bill. God, I know you're gonna come through with something that is for me.
Whew.
So I look at it like you can pick the things that get thrown at you, the low hanging fruit that get thrown at you, and it's just blocking the way for the thing that you're actually aiming for. Like you're holding energy space, you're putting space, energetic blocks in the way, in the lane of the thing that is actually supposed to come for you. So now you got to jump over these energetic blocks that you put in place. Because let me go get this little check. Let me go get this little thing. Let me go get this tiny thing that I know is purely the money. This thing that's not going to make me happy. This thing that's going to damage my reputation. And I stopped moving like that like a while ago because I realized I was getting broke. I would go I would go into debt. I'd be like, how did I just do this thing and now I'm broke? How does this work?
Yeah.
But when I do the quality things, when I say, hold up, give me a minute, I need some time with this record. And when I put the thing up, when I put the record up or I put whatever, I do this thing and I show up on time for it or show up in my fullness for it, it begets just more and light. And I'm always in the black and something else incredible comes in. And it's not just money, it's energy too. Because you show up in your fullness, in your light to the thing with everything. And people see that and people talk about that and the energy moves and it brings in something else. So I started moving like, I turned down more things and got more. I turned down pretty much.
I turned down more things and got more. Yes.
And got big, like couldn't make it up big. Like, are you serious?
Yes. So I want to know, how did the Estelle show and Steven Universe come about?
Steven Universe, let's talk about that first. Steven Universe, I kept putting that in the air. This is, again, couldn't make this up. Divinely orchestrated. The show's called Steven Universe, right? My character's called Garnet. My birthday's in January. My birthstones are Garnet. My favorite color is purple. She's purple. It was too many things that lined up that were kind of like visual signs and mental signs, right? That were kind of like, bruh. But I started to tell my team I wanted a voiceover job. And then I got intentional. I said, well, why do you want a voiceover gig? I said, because I have nieces and nephews that are being born and they don't know my voice. And I noticed if it's a cartoon, it's going to go around the world. And I just wanted to know what Auntie sounds like. So I ended up getting the character role because the creator, Rebecca Sugar, and her partner were fans. And she liked the record I had called Freak. And I remember dreaming this video up. I literally went to bed and woke up one day and I had a dream about what it would look like for this video. And I was like, this is the video for Freak. Let me quickly draw it out. And I drew it out. And
wait, you draw?
A little bit, like, no, I'm like, I just like
Lord, you do it all. Wow.
Stick figures. I'm stick figures. No, I just drew it out a little bit so he could see, so the director could see what I was talking about. And I drew this lady with like a bang and like a very, boxy bob kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I said, and she's got to be like a school mom. So she's got to have like a dress and she's got to have hips. And she's like teaching the kids. So she's a big fan of it. And so she brought the character to life based off of that picture. Wow. So I was supposed to say, like, I pray about everything. I think nothing is mistake, and I think nothing is, weird or just a thing. It all means something. And she asked me to be a part of it. I said, well, what's the character about? She said it's about a superhero who takes care of like these kids on Earth and her other gems, her friends. And I was just like, I can relate. That sounds about right. I'm a big sister. Yep, I could do that. So, halfway through it becomes a thing, and it becomes a big point of representation for the LGBTQIA community. And I'm just honored that I got a chance to play. I'm honored that I got a chance to show my allyism and really just, help represent. I think it's important. It's smart. It's a good cartoon. It's funny. It's slick. It's cheeky, sarcastic. I get to be sarcastic. I was very sarcastic, still am. No, like it's a good time.
Yes, Black futurism. It's amazing. And I just love, I'm in awe of how you created your reality. Literally. As you were telling the story, I was like, oh my goodness, I need to be, where's my pen at? I need to be over here.
Listen, you're an inspired, you do the same thing. It's not even a game. Sometimes you do this, listen, and I'm going to relate it to what I saw when I met you. Like, after I met you, like you talking about how you vision boarded your life and showing the fruits of your vision board. Like that to me was like, oh, hold on, let me remember how the hell I forgot this part. Like, yeah, you could do, but the Apple show, same thing. I remember going to Apple or coming up with the idea for a show where I just play what I want to play, eclectic music, and talk to different people. And I've been there for 2 years. Well over 400 shows. We won an award. I'm just grateful. God is good. God is so good to me. He loves me so much.
Yes. Yes. No, I absolutely, I think the show is great. And honestly, I've learned a lot from it. For me, especially going into this new venture with my podcast, it's been a source of inspiration for me. Because like you said, it's, my podcast, just like what you're doing on the Estelle show, is that it's about getting to the core of who people are. That's where the journey is. That's where the relatability is. And so...
But that comes from you, though. That also comes from you. That comes from people wanting to know you. I think we put out into the world the things that we want people to see about us. So my only piece of advice I would give in this is, and not even advice because you're doing it, is just keep letting people know who you are. Relate who you are to them, because we're literally just all humans trying to figure out how to do this life. And I'm learning from you too. So, yeah.
Wow. Thank you. Yeah, no, that's what it's all about. So I just love and adore you. But before we go, I want to ask, what has been your takeaway from our conversation?
I think I am so proud and so happy that in this day, in this age, in 2022, a young girl from London can talk to a young lady all the way in LA, and we find more in common than we find not in common. One. And two, just to see us both out here shining is another thing.
Thank you, sis. Wow. I'm just in awe of this moment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for seeing me.
Yeah.
And I'll say that my takeaway is, it's two things. It's one, I'm more powerful than I realized. And seeing you exercise, talk to me about exercising your power, your manifestation power, your intentionality power in your life is inspiring me to go even deeper into mine. And then second, I'm getting in my bag this year. Period. Period. No, seriously, that really got me I can't be 80% in my bag.
No.
I have to be 100, 1,000, trillion% in my bag.
It's
period.
It's a Telfar waiting on you. It's a Brian Blackwood waiting on you. It's a Birkin waiting on you. It's a Bottega waiting. It's a few of them, and they big, and they're waiting for you to just hop on. Get into it.
Literally, I'm getting, especially when another Black woman looks at me and says, "Get in your bag, sis," because I see when you're in it. And I feel it. I'm into it. Then that makes me be like,
Yeah.
If a bag ain't for me, I'm gonna create my own bag and hop in it. You know, like it's so empowering to be empowered by someone who looks like me and who believes in me and who has inspired me. Thank you for this juice. Well, sis, listen. I knew you were gonna be coming with the gems. Yes, that is a Steven Universe reference. So I just wanna say thank you first, just for saying yes. I'm so grateful to you.
Thank you. Yeah. This is a beautiful platform. I can't wait to see what happens next. I cannot wait to see it all blossom and bloom. This is amazing. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
After the credits, Estelle tells us about the musical golden era she was actually born in and who she would have loved to collaborate with from that time. Thank you so much for listening. This podcast is produced by LWC Studios for OWN. The show's executive producer is Juleka Lantigua. Its senior editor is Verilyn Williams. Sound designer is Cedric Wilson. Managing producers are Camille Stennis and Paulina Velasco. Assistant producers are Michelle Baker and Shanice Tyndall. If you enjoyed my conversation with Estelle, I encourage you to click the subscribe button on Amazon Music or wherever you listen to podcasts. What decade or golden era of music are you most inspired by? And what historical icon would you want to collaborate with today?
Okay. Most inspired by Motown, for sure. That's the 60s, I want to say. I have this theory that I always say to people, I was born in the 60s, and I was around in the 60s and 70s. Probably whacked out early doing too much and came right back in 1980. I feel like I was because there's so much where I'm just like, between 1960 and 1970, I know this. So I would say the Motown 60s, 70s era. And any historical icon, all the ones I love are gone, but she's still here, so I'm putting this back out into the world. I just want to talk to Diana Ross. I just want to ask her things. I just want to be like, I know this was a long time ago. Sis, tell me about the makeup and the hair and the clothes. Just tell me.
Yes.
I want to know.
Yes.
I say icon, legend, auntie, big sister almighty. I don't know. Like, how do I do this? Tell me what I'm doing wrong with my makeup. Because you set the pace for us. I just think she's it, you know? And if she was here today, Ella Fitzgerald, because I just want to know how she did that with her voice.
Please, Ella, we have questions that need answers.
No explanation for that. None at all.
Oh, Ella Fitzgerald. Oh, just the thought of her makes me... I love jazz.
Story.
I'm a jazz girl.
You get it? Yeah.
Sarah Vaughan. Oh.
You get it.
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah. So bad.